Anyways, what's up? What's good? What you doing?
What's happening? Well, we're down to another week in 2021. Weather here in Vancouver, a little bit of sunshine.
Oh,
We
really?
got snow on the a little bit of sunshine. We got some
Nice.
snow on the forecast though. So, everyone's winterizing up over here.
I thought the snow season was over.
Well, this time last year there was a crazy amount of snow. Or not crazy for Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is no snow right now, but there's supposed to be a little bit of snow over the weekend. So we'll see how that plays out.
Well, it's sunny over here today as well, which is kind of, well, I don't know if it's unusual or usual or whatever, but apparently in March it's supposed to get a little bit warmer. So I'm hoping for that, so then I can do a lot more videos outside, because right now it's kind of cold as fuck. So yeah, I'm not trying to go out too much. But yeah, you just got off work, right?
Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah.
Nice. So how's work? I don't think the people know where you're working.
No, I work in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
It's definitely starting to slow down a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the whole, COVID lockdown, or I wouldn't say lockdown, but I think since things started closing up, from the April all the way, I would say all the way up to maybe almost December, we were busy the whole way through.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to dip down. Pretty much there was a backlog of clients. We got through that backlog, and now that backlog's done, winter's coming, COVID cases are going up. People aren't really traveling, so they're not, doing stuff. So
right,
it's definitely slowing down.
Huh. I thought it was actually picking up for you guys in the earlier bit, no?
No, but you know what? January is usually a slower month anyways, because a lot of people, spent a lot of money already during Christmas. All those holidays.
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's true. Not anyone's trying to spend a lot of money at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the
okay.
next few months are probably going to be a slow, hopefully, increase.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everything kind of picks up for everybody, because I think throughout the entire industry, I think that right now the industries that are hurting are, I don't know, the food industry, hospitality.
When you say food, you mean restaurants, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So all that kind of catering services, restaurants, all those people, small businesses, all that, they're all closing down, bankruptcy, people are going, unemployed, laid off. So it's lucky to have a job, at all, to be honest. There's a bunch of people that are just on that government, what is it? I wouldn't say it's a grant, but it's no,
it's not a grant.
It's like a loan.
It was like a COVID relief,
right?
Yeah. I forgot what's it called.
Well, for Canada, it's called CRB or whatever.
Yeah, CRB.
I forgot what it stands for, but anyways. And the states have their own kind of system as well, but the states just got theirs, I think. Literally, it just passed.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel sorry for anyone who has been throughout the entire year pretty much without an income,
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't imagine that.
That's really tough.
Yeah, and I, to be honest, I'd be pissed at my government too if I was I'd set aside your differences for 1 second, save us people, because we're the ones that can't put food on the table and stuff. But yeah, I feel for those people for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, there was a recent, I guess, trending topic about Clubhouse, the app. For those of you that don't know what Clubhouse is basically a social media platform that is I guess, more intuitive to voice chats rather than texting. And you get to meet a lot of different people. I think it's more for networking purposes, but I think as it grows more, it's gonna be it will still be for networking purposes, but I feel like it's gonna get spammed with a lot of stuff. And I've kind of already see that happening right now. Like there are these groups that I see that are like what is it? Instagram growth groups.
Follow for follow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like it's not really follow for follow, but it is kind of like they don't really want to say it that way. But then the way they
No.
would twist their words is basically, oh, we're a big community. We help each other out. So just follow everyone that's in the group right now, which is basically follow for follow. And then we'll follow you back. We'll give you support. We'll put your comments on there from verified people. And I'm like, it still doesn't mean that you're gonna grow. You know what I mean? Like this is just like not organic growth at all. So I didn't really join those groups. I listened to them because I wanted to see what they actually had to say and what their group is about. But yeah, anyways, Clubhouse, a new app that's out right now, only by invitation right now, I believe. For people that are on the beta testing still, and then it'll be released to the public on a later date. We're just not sure when that date actually is. But yeah, how do
Pretty
you
much.
like you're part of it too, right? So what do you
Yep.
think of the app so far in terms of, I guess, whatever you want to use it for, or if it's beneficial for you at all?
I think it's a very interesting take on social media. I mean, if you look at all the past, major social medias, a lot of them are very like graphic focused. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You've got like photos, videos, text being posted.
Mm,
This completely like gets rid of that, and it's pretty much like I think they call it drop in audio voice chatting. So pretty much the way it works is instead of looking at photos or looking at a video chat like Zoom, you're in a room full of people, and you pretty much have a moderation board, and then you have the audience, and the moderation can bring people from the audience onto the stage to speak, and I think in a way, how do I explain it? Uh, we're going we're um because it's just focusing on voice, there's less distractions. So you're able to be like more
mm.
focused on the point people are trying to get across. It's going back to this is what it's going back to a more analog era
Right,
in
right.
a sense. So like, you're actually having conversations. In these days, everyone's just sending like a quick text or a quick, message. But a lot of what you're trying to say, like the emotion gets completely lost in that. In voice, the way you say something can mean something completely different than what you said.
Right.
And what I think Clubhouse is going to do a really good job at doing is being able to actually connect with people around the entire globe, and have real conversations again. Like
Right.
before the internet and before everything, you'd be outside, you'd talk to your neighbor, you'd talk to the guy at the bus stop, and make a casual conversation, at a restaurant or something. But that's all gone now. It's just like a quick text or tweet. But this is gonna help people, you know, get proper conversations back in. But like you said, networking. There's a lot of rooms right now that have, a lot of industry leaders in them, and they're teaching like their ways, and helping people grow. They're giving their advice. So there's a lot of rooms right now where they're doing like question and answer.
Mhm.
So they're kind of like explaining, what they do, what's helped them,
Yeah.
and then they're letting people from the audience jump onto the stage and ask their questions so they can give their personal one-on-one advice to them.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I think just being in that app for the past like 2 days, I've been like binging Clubhouse. And
Mhm.
it's gone to the point where I listen to them, or when I mean them, and I mean like the rooms that I listen to and the people that are in it, I actually listen to them more than I do like podcasts now, to be honest, because I'm just more interested in now. You know what I mean? Like it's just like something that's new to me, and I'm not sure if that's going to die off on my type of like hype train that I'm on right now. But um, I think it's from what I got out of it already is just priceless. You know, the people that I've met already who are CEOs of certain companies, who are who worked for different brands, who work for production companies, and all this stuff, and they have real world experience. And this is stuff that you cannot get in any university education or whatever, and I mean, unless your class has like a guest speaker that comes in. But this is like having 50 to 100 different guest speakers in one room, and these are experienced people in their field, and you can search, you know, whatever niche that you want to search within Clubhouse, and hopefully there's a room open for you to be able to listen and also speak to these people and building these connections. And hopefully, I mean, I've seen business transactions happen right in the room, which is
Yep.
crazy. You know, it's like Mr. Beast was on there, and there was a guy who literally just said, you know, I'm an editor, and I'm just, you know, he's like, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm just an editor, and I was just, his question to Mr. Beast was basically, what would be your advice or for someone like me as an editor who would like to start his own channel, maybe, or you know, get into that maybe the YouTube field, as well as like he's also willing to move on from his current people that he's working for as an editor to another YouTuber who is more established, because I guess he's good at what he does, right? So then Mr. Beast literally said, you know, DM me on my Twitter. I'm looking for an editor, like another editor. And, you know, Mr. Beast says he has like already 15 editors working on his videos. Yeah. And so just like that, a connection to straight to Mr. Beast, you know, for speaking up. And I think that is one of the most important things, is not only to listen. Listening is a good thing to get valuable information, but also speaking as well, to be able to tell these people that you are interested to at least engage. Because that's where all entrepreneurship and, you know, business partnership starts, is by talking. And if you're just listening, people are not going to know you. You're just down at the bottom with the rest of the people on the list. But when you are invited on the stage and you get to talk, I would say like highly recommend for everybody to just use that time wisely, whether it's 30 seconds or a minute that they give you, and put your best pitch out there. And you never know who might follow you, who might message you later on Instagram and Twitter and be like, hey, I'm looking for someone in this field. Maybe you're up for it. And just like that, like jobs are like countless out here when it comes to that, like freelancing and stuff like that. So I think it's very, very good for people who are looking for jobs as a freelancer, maybe, and to be able to get that kind of connection going with other people. That is something that I think is super valuable of Clubhouse compared to any other platform that just does it for follower base, you know, and just kind of like you said, it's like, it's not nothing to do with photos, nothing to do with all these comments and content that's trying to keep you on the platform. The people, or the thing about Clubhouse that's keeping people on Clubhouse, is the people that are engaging in it. And so it's very, very cool to have this opportunity to talk to these A1 listing entrepreneurs and YouTubers, to be able to just talk to them, because this is not an opportunity that you get on regular live chat that you have on, like, you know, YouTube, when they have those live chats on the side. It's a stupid amount of comments going, and like there's no way that your comment is just going to get seen, you know. And so it's nice to actually be heard. So that's what I think of the app.
It's a very different experience.
Yeah.
It's so much more different being able to be like, hey, Ken, how was your day today? Versus, you know, just, you know, typing it out.
Yeah, exactly. And
like it's very different.
Yeah, and it's just so nice because like we grew up in that era, you know, in the 90s and stuff, where again, like you mentioned, we didn't have smartphones and stuff. So like the only way for us to interact was, when we're waiting at a bus stop, what do? We maybe pitch a conversation with someone, and we say hi to someone that's just walking past us. Those are just some of the small things that I miss so much about society back then. And, of course, social media is a huge thing for even my business alone and for everybody else's, but I do miss the simpler days when social media didn't exist. Although it would have been harder to get your voice out and to get world connections, but there is this trade-off between having those type of business connections and living the simpler life. But I do miss the simpler life. But I don't. I wouldn't say I totally I wouldn't say disregard. That's the wrong word. I wouldn't totally say that the negative thing about technology and having us being on social platforms is a bad thing, but it can get unhealthy. And so you just need to know when to just call it quits on your day. And my screen time's horrible, by the way, on my phone. It's like 5 hours on average or something like that. But anyways, I heard some people's even worse. So I'm actually better.
Mine was up there. I remember when I first started on the app, dude, I felt like I didn't even sleep.
Yeah.
Like I was just straight, like my eyes were like bloodshot. Like I was just listening in on rooms, and it was very like it literally felt like a high. Like it's this new thing, you're jumping in. You're like, wow, this is so cool. And then there's so many different rooms. It's not really an issue, but like there's multiple rooms I wanted to be in at the same time. So I'd be like listening to one room, and then you jump into another room, and it's like, oh man, but I want to go back. And then I think there's a lot of like FOMO, fear of missing out, because it's like, oh man, what if this guy says something really important? I gotta go back.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. I was actually on it. Damn. I don't even want to say how long I was on it, but I was on it for a long time. But when I listen into some people's conversations in the room, they're like, I've been on here for 9 hours. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, they've been on there they literally been on there. And I remember being on some rooms where like, yeah, I just took a 1 hour nap and we're going again.
It's funny because at a moment's glance, you just kind of think, don't these people have to work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weekday too. Like right now, it's what is it? Tuesday for me, Monday for you, and Monday night for others. Me. Yeah. So, I'm just like, holy shit! Like these guys and girls, sorry, are on there for hours and hours, and I'm like, but then a part of me thought, a lot of them are entrepreneurs, and they're probably a lot of them are working for themselves, and so they make their own schedules, or they don't have a client or whatever, and they're on there and they can spend the amount of time that they do. So I think that's also great, because if you want to be an entrepreneur, and if you want that type of information, and you want to feed off of other people's knowledge, this is the app for you. I totally believe that. And, not sponsored by Clubhouse or anything for this podcast, but it has been just that refreshing break that I think everyone needs, whether you're just an entrepreneur, whether you're just a YouTuber, or just a person who just likes to chat with people. Like you're a people person, and you just haven't been able to do that since the pandemic. And a lot of people just became mentally depressed, stressed, whatever, and they miss the interaction with people. So I think if you are that type of person as well, just go on to Clubhouse, and it'd be like a godsend to you to be able to talk to so many people.
And honestly, it's a very interesting experience. It's very human. I think that's the way to put it. It's like it feels very human for a social network.
Right.
And I do think it has the potential to disrupt the major players.
Mm-hmm. And it's just in a completely different niche. You know what I mean? It's like, it is social media. Sure, that's like the general niche that you can put it in, but there's just nothing like this currently that I know of that everyone just hopped on. And I'm just surprised of how many big players are on here already without having like, I don't know any marketing done by Clubhouse that I know of. I don't know
haven't seen
how.
anything.
Yeah, like, I don't know how they got their word out there. I'm pretty sure it might have been someone who is already had a lot of networking connections, and they just probably pitched their own connections of this app, and then everyone just, it's word of mouth basically. But yeah, I love it, and I think I'm going to be on it for a long time. So if anyone wants to come and join Clubhouse, who's listening, just come on down and join up if you have the invitation. But otherwise, also do not pay for an invitation. Whatever you do, don't pay $50. I've seen people charge like $110 for an invitation.
That's not worth it.
And it is just, they're robbing people. And, this app is going to become public one day. So if you want to wait up until the point of it becoming public, then wait. Otherwise, hopefully you have a friend out there who's already on the app and they can just invite you in. But yeah, don't pay. It's stupid.
Just join the wait list. Just download the app, put your phone number in, just join the wait list. And then, hopefully you get an invite sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and
don't pay.
Exactly. And sorry. I was just kind of like riding off of your thought there. But I was going to say also, when you do register with your phone number, you can reserve your username. So if you have a username that you want to go on there so no one else takes it, go on there now and at least reserve it. Then they'll save it for you when the time comes that it is your turn to be on the app. But yeah, anyways, that is kind of like the splurge of Clubhouse, because it's been just super interesting to both of us, and we want to give our listeners just a heads up of what's happening if you haven't heard of the app. But yeah, we're gonna probably move on to the next thing, which is WhatsApp and this whole ordeal with WhatsApp and their whole privacy policy that they released. And there's been a lot of kind of back and forth, I heard. I was listening to Lou Later, and he was saying that WhatsApp is now trying to backpedal a little bit. So they want to keep their users online. And they're saying that they delayed, actually, I think, they delayed their date of when they're going to put that policy. I think it was like February, first 2 weeks of February or something. They were saying that.
Yeah, the beginning of February is when it was originally supposed to start.
Yeah, and apparently they now changed it. I'm not sure. I haven't confirmed it yet. But apparently that's what they're saying they might do, is delay that date. But I'm like, that's not going to really do anything, first of all, because the fact is the policy is still there. And then the second thing I heard was they reworded their policy, and then they kind of screenshotted that or something, and then they posted on Twitter. And then they said, by the way, this is exactly how we would, take your services or your privacy policy, right? They're saying that we're only going to share it to businesses and whatever. But there's another person who literally went on there and was like, oh yeah, we're just going to post a screenshot of more the fine print under privacy policy, and then basically saying that, oh, by the way, it's not just businesses. It just say, as well as businesses, there will be other entities that will be sharing your information. So I was like, there you go, someone just called them out.
What exactly is the privacy change? Is it that I don't fully understand, is it that WhatsApp is going to sell your personal information for advertising purposes from your chats? Like, I don't fully understand. Like, are they selling the chat?
Okay, so like WhatsApp claims that they're not listening into your conversation. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which I don't really care if they do or if they don't. The fact that I've already assumed that these companies are doing it anyways. But the thing is, for them, they were saying originally that it was sharing our information, which is our contact, like your phone number, whatever you registered with, your phone number, your email, your name, your IP address, where your location is. These information will be shared with businesses. But in their fine print, they said they will be sharing it with Facebook, which they own Facebook. So I'm not really surprised of that either. I thought they were already doing it, to be honest. But it was more the fact that this information is not just staying within WhatsApp and Facebook. It is getting out to third-party people who are either in the business industry or advertising companies, marketing companies. And yeah, it's just going to be more public in a sense. So
What under?
yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in this day and age when everyone's so privacy focused and so like, focused on transparency, like I don't understand why they would make this move. Like, I just don't see like why someone would have been like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make this privacy change and we're gonna just sell your data, and hopefully nobody gets upset because they just shot themselves in the foot. People have been leaving WhatsApp in droves. They've been heading over to Signal, and what's the other one?
Telegram.
Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's crazy.
But yeah, so I think that social media has been swaying people like in different ways. But also, I honestly think that maybe WhatsApp or Facebook, should I say, because they own WhatsApp. Maybe Facebook thought that if they did some kind of change like this, you know how people, when they download an app and they just kind of like have to accept the terms and policies to use that app, and they don't really read through it because they want to use that app. So I thought this would be like kind of a similar thing, that they were thinking, oh, maybe if we just put like a change in terms and policy, but then we just threw it out there, people would just automatically agree to it and just keep using it, and we wouldn't lose anybody.
Yeah.
But then that was obviously not the case, because someone obviously made a thing go viral by saying that, you are giving up a lot if you do agree to this. And I'm not sure if this was like an internal play with Signal and all these people that are trying to get people onto their platform as well. Like, that's something that I'm not going to get into too much, but that is something that I thought maybe Facebook was thinking comfortably, okay, let's just do this, and then people agree, we'll just move on. But now they're trying to like withhold. I think there was I'm not sure if this is like the low number, but I know it was in the millions. But I think 2 million people downloaded Telegram in the past like week.
When I downloaded Signal, it was on the trending as well. Like it's on the top charts.
Yeah, so like it's either you go to Telegram or Signal. Both of them are good for what they do. But also, if you want to know the difference, I think there's a video on YouTube or something about like versus Signal versus Telegram. It's already up, which is crazy.
For sure, there's a video.
People are riding on that trend, but
somebody's got us covered.
Yeah. So if you are wondering about that, go check on YouTube. But as far as I know, from my knowledge of the difference between those two, is just simply put, Signal is a platform where they vouch for not withholding any information of you. They don't know where you are, what you talk about in your chats. They don't keep any of your information, maybe except for your phone number, but that is also for that two-factor authentication when you log in, and make sure that you're not someone who's trying to hack. But otherwise, I believe Signal is also a nonprofit organization. So they are only it's a free app to use, and they're accepting donations. So if you go onto the actual app, when you go into settings, there will be a section that says donate to Signal, and then you can donate however much you want, $1, $2, $5, whatever, and then just support them for having this app. So it doesn't have as much features as Telegram does, because it's not getting paid to put out a lot of features, put out a lot of these different, emojis and stuff like that people might want to use. But the benefit is it's free. You get to talk whatever you want. You're not going to get censored. They're not collecting information. And it says that on their terms and policies. So it's black and white. And so I think that's good. Telegram is a little different. It is a free app to use, but also they have a premium version that you can download, which gives you a little bit more features. But as far as like if you don't need any of that stuff, you can still use Telegram, like no problem.
Honestly, I didn't know Signal was a nonprofit.
Yeah. And then Telegram also, the other thing with Telegram is apparently there's a feature called private chat, like secret chat or whatever. And if you don't actually initiate a chat, like when you open a chat, it tells you like whether you want to make it private or just a regular chat.
Yeah.
So apparently the regular chat is trackable in the sense that because Telegram was saying that, oh, we are like heavily encrypted and whatever. And yes, they are heavily encrypted, but within like the actual Telegram company, the publicly open chats are actually trackable by Telegram themselves. Like they can see your chats, right? So unless you actually open up a private chat, that is when they cannot see anything. So that is just a tip for people out there that are using Telegram is if you want, doesn't want your information or, you're sharing photos with your friends and you don't want that information being seen by anybody else, even in the company of Telegram themselves, then open up a chat in private mode. But otherwise, if you're okay to just having a regular chat and knowing that Telegram's listening to you, then whatever, just open up a regular chat. But that's why I switched to Signal instead of Telegram.
I was going to say, so if Telegram's able to listen, what's the difference between, why not just stay on WhatsApp?
They're able to listen, but they're not selling your information.
Oh, okay.
They're not giving it to other, because Telegram has no affiliation with any other company. Like Telegram is Telegram. They're not like bought up by some other big company that they can share this information with. And they don't have like ads on their platform as well. So they got nothing to sell to people. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah, but it's more like if it's on their public server in a sense, like, so if someone did or was able to hack into Telegram one day, then all those open chats will be visible to the person that hacked into it. But those private chats won't be.
That makes sense.
So, that's the only thing. With Signal, they just don't keep track of anything. There is no server that keeps track of all your histories. You can't even request, like on WhatsApp, you know how you can request for all your histories or whatever?
Yeah, you can get a chat backup.
Yeah. So on Signal, there's none of that. So they don't have records of anything. Like once you text and whatever, all that information is just straight through the window, like out. So.
Hot diggity.
Yeah. I don't know. I recommend Signal, but that's just me. Some people might go to Telegram just because their friends are already on Telegram. But I was actually surprised when I downloaded Telegram. It was like so many people already on it that are my friends. And I was like, oh, cool. I don't need to tell them to download it.
I'll probably check out Signal and probably Telegram. But which one I'm going to stick with, I don't know yet.
I have both, to be honest. But I don't use Telegram that much. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go with that. But yeah, it's crazy. This like 2021 just started and this whole thing with, social media and stuff like that is happening. And I just think that this year is, I don't know. I just have a feeling it's not going to be any different than last year, to be honest. That's just my feeling.
2021 is just revving its engines, man.
Yeah.
Get your bingo card out for this year. I think there's gonna be some pretty big surprises.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly do believe the first half will be more optimistic, but very similar. It won't be till the second half of 2021 when things will actually start to get better.
Yeah. And like whatever that new normal is.
Yeah. I think the race to get the vaccines out right now, that's the hardest part. Once we get that, once the vaccinations are en masse, then I think we'll start to see things leveling out a bit.
Yeah.
And then, maybe be able to go out to a nice restaurant and not have to worry so much about dining out or feeling guilty about it.
Right.
And supporting local businesses. Like there's a lot of these small shops that they just couldn't do it anymore. They had to close down.
Mm-hmm. That actually reminds me of a conversation that was in Clubhouse. And I was in the YouTube group, and this guy, he just started a YouTube channel, and he's getting actually like good traction within the YouTube channel. But the one thing that he did was one, helping the local businesses, like local restaurants and stuff. And what he would do is his YouTube channel is literally going around to local restaurants and helping promote them. By going to those restaurants and being like, hey, like, just a YouTuber here. Like, I just wanted to see like what you serve and, what you have going on. And so they kind of get a little bit of exposure through his channel. So I think that's nice. Like, what he's doing is nice. It's benefiting him as well as the restaurant itself. And, it's a win-win situation. And I think that is something that we need to start doing is, as a creator, as people that are on YouTube that have a certain type of audience that they can influence, is to maybe start supporting some of the local communities, some of the local restaurants and stuff that actually we love to support if we can. So yeah, I would love to do something like that, even here in Okinawa, like just to promote businesses. But I don't know. What do you think of? I was gonna ask you another question that is kind of not related to that topic that I was just saying, but what do you think of, I guess, the direction of how you're somewhat familiar with the YouTube algorithm, right?
Sort of, not 100%.
Okay, so
I feel like I'm always playing catch up.
Right, and I think a lot of people are as well. But you know how there's like the new YouTube Shorts, feature, right? Which isn't really a dedicated feature right now. It's kind of like if you record a 1 minute video, 60 seconds or less, then it'll just be featured on the short content section. And I've been kind of trying to dabble in that a little bit, but I've been really bad at trying to be consistent with it. So I'm not really a person to be saying anything about that part, but I'm just wondering, like, what do you think the direction of YouTube in terms of not just shorts, but just the future of YouTube from now on? Like, do you think it's going to stick around, or do you think there's going to be a new platform that comes in that may provide better payment, to creators? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I think in terms of a content platform, I think it's going to be here to stay for quite some time. I mean, right after Google, I think YouTube is the second, major search engine, and you literally don't know how to do some, punch in YouTube, and sure enough, there'll be a tutorial teaching you how to do it. You want to learn about something, just punch it in. You're bored, you want to watch, somebody play something, like there's everything's on YouTube. The only thing that could hinge on YouTube's survival is the content creators' payment plans. From my understanding, like in the beginning, the payouts are very generous, and as more and more people, got into the ad program and got into the YouTube partnership program, YouTube kept making changes and making their profits get lower and lower and lower. And if you've noticed, you've seen a lot of YouTubers asking for your support on Patreon. And that's because, the YouTube, AdSense payouts aren't as great as they used to be. And for those YouTubers to continue to do this full time, they need a second revenue. And that's why a lot of them also sell merch or, something to support them by, because that helps them out. I think if another platform were to come out, they'd have to have some pretty deep pockets, because they'd have to be able to sway all those YouTubers and continue to pay them. Otherwise, the same thing's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but YouTube is now like the leader in online content. Right. So like for you to like come up against them, it's going to be very, very tough. I mean, Vimeo tried quite a few years ago, and
Yeah.
you know, Vimeo was great for like shorts and stuff like that. But in terms of everything else, unfortunately, they fell short.
What a pun. That was I don't know if you meant that, but
I didn't.
Yeah, Vimeo was meant for shorts, but they came short. Oh, that was too good. I was trying to like hold the laughing, but I was like, no, this has to be fucking comedic right now. Oh my god, that's
Oh, man.
hilarious. I actually don't know what Vimeo even was, and I still don't to this day. Like, I don't know what that platform was for.
Do you remember College Humor
Yes.
on YouTube?
Yes.
From my understanding, College Humor tried to create Vimeo as as their own like video hosting platform. I think. Don't quote me on that. But I remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I remember something about College Humor trying to make Vimeo.
But I think I heard
don't,
something along that.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what Vimeo's core focus was. I thought it was to provide like actual shorts and like movie style content, like more cinematic stuff. I think. I don't think they were trying to go for all the cat videos that YouTube was trying to do. Like YouTube was like very like broad, and then Vimeo was more for cinematic stuff, which is why you'll still find some people host on Vimeo for their like, you know, cinematic shorts and stuff. Because you'll get an audience that cares more about that. But in terms of like global awareness and stuff, I mean, YouTube's got the cake.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, if I don't, I've seen Vimeo, but I've never been interested in posting there or anything. But yeah, unfortunately, I guess they fell short.
The other issue. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, what's the other issue?
The other issue YouTube could have is their way their copyright strikes work. Like, let's say you've created an original content, and then somebody rips you off, and they post a video, and then they report you, even though you are the original content holder, and you've lost your video now. There goes your source of income. And from what I've read online, some people have not been able to recover their accounts from that. Like unless you have deep pockets, it's very hard to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna fix that part, but yeah, it's frustrating, man. There's like so many people who lost their accounts and whatever, and got hacked into, whatever. So it's crazy. But yeah, I think as far as like another platform forming, I don't know if it's gonna be this year. Probably within the next 5 years, I think there will be a new platform that comes up that might try to compete against it.
What is it, every 10 years or something like that a new platform comes out?
Yeah, and there has to be, like, it is the thing that just happens, right? So
I mean, there's always new platforms coming out. It's just one that sticks.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what that is. And hopefully we'll be around to see it, and we can try to still keep up with whatever that is. I don't know. By that time, I think I'm just going to be like, I'm good. Like the whole thing with, for me with YouTube is like, you know, to be able to create content, to do what I love to do. And if I can get a gig or two out of it for, you know, aside from YouTube as the client work and stuff, then I'm good. Becoming a full-time YouTuber, of course, that's like a dream for anyone, to be your own boss and whatever. But you got to realize that, you know, it's also good to just kind of invest your time, not just into YouTube. Like once you get a platform for like a lot of like subscribers and stuff, you have a voice. Like you have that power to move these people into different areas of your entrepreneurship career. And so whether that be you doing, you know, client work for someone else, because YouTube is kind of like a portfolio right now, you know? So if you pick up jobs here and there, or you make a production company, or you make a company that helps other creators or something like that, like, you know, like you can do like anything in terms of entrepreneurship when you have this many people following you, you know? So I think for some people to stick to YouTube for the entirety of their life, you know, maybe like Mr. Beast would be like a person who's very, very dedicated to YouTube, and he will stick with it no matter what. But I just think that he has enough connections that if YouTube shuts down like today, he would still be able to survive and do something else on a different platform because he is who he is. You know what I mean? So until you get to that point, it's kind of like you will still have to depend on another source of income, which a lot of creators, by the way, have. And some people might think that YouTube is their only source of income, but they have income, like you said, like Patreon, or selling clothing on Teespring, have maybe GoFundMe campaigns, Kickstarting campaigns. They have their own merch store on Shopify, like an e-commerce store. So they have a lot of areas of revenue. And also, like for us in videography and photography, they might sell like LUT packs or presets. So there's so much stuff that you can do to sell. And these are things that are extra income on top of, for some people, actually, it's not just an extra income. It's more than their income of Google AdSense. Yeah. So, you know, you just gotta, I think people just have to realize that a little bit when they are starting out, because they're like, oh, YouTube, like I'll start making a video because it's COVID, people are home, people are going to watch my content, and, you know, I'm going to make some money out of it and I can live off YouTube. But that's not really the reality. Like some people, yes, there are some people that do, but there are specific niches that people have to understand that pay more than other niches. So, for example, like finance. Finance pays a lot. If you do a finance channel, like, and you make it like not even like 20,000 subscribers, people are making like $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 a month.
But you know, you've got to love what you're doing, though. Otherwise, you're not going to see any results, and you're just going to quit.
Right. So, like, yes, that is a great point. Like, don't do finance just because they're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you don't have the experience, if you don't have the value to provide for people, and you're just kind of blabbing off of an article that you just read, then people are going to see right through that, and you're not going to be original, and you're just going to be like, you know, it's going to be a dead channel eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And so do what you love to do. But I'm just saying, like, finance as a channel is one of the top ranking, as well as photography and videography. We're in the top 5 for AdSense per, like, it's like, what is it? CPR? CTR? I forgot. Click-through rate?
Yeah.
Or click per view? I don't know, whatever.
Click
CPR, CTR. I don't know. Anyways, it's like that that amount, like per 1,000 views, like how much you actually make. So that is something that is more for those niches than other niches. Because like vlogging channels and all those, so many people are doing it, you know. Even people within those finance and photography and all these tech YouTubers, they're doing vlogging as well.
Yeah.
So if you're just doing a vlogging specialized, there's, unless you're really big and your life is very interesting and you just happen to have a lot of subscribers, there's not going to be that much opportunity for you. Like, I'm not saying to not do it at all, but I'm just saying, like, it is very hard to go into that side. So again, loving what you do and not caring about the money is the way to go if you want to do YouTube. All right, guys, so that's it for today, and we are headed out. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you are new to the channel, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and like this video if you did like it and enjoy it. So we'll go on to the next one, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one. See you guys.
Right, peace out.
Well, guys, thank you. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. That's like this is so stressful. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight on Tune In. Or it's not tonight. It could be it could be any time. Let's try that one more
Wait,
time.
hold-
Take 5.